Welcome to The Wrap. I'm Oliver Rennick here to take you through today's market action. Let's take a look at where markets ended the week. All four major indexes ended in the green. It was an economic data heavy week. Not much of it was good. Inflation beat and prices paid for ISMs and jobs missed. Russell 2000 was up 1.7%, leading the way. Dow Jones and NASDAQ were up more than 1%, and the S&P was a little bit slower, up just over 0.5%. Let's take a look at some of the sectors that worked and which ones that didn't. Utilities led the way, closing over 3% higher. To the downside, energy. It was not a good week for crude oil. Energy stocks were down 3%. Now let's look at some stocks that were on the move. It was a big week for earnings, and Apple was the biggest. An historic buyback of $110 billion, a 4% hike to its cash dividend to 25 cents a share. Market loved it. Ended above $183, putting it back on the map after a year-to-date underperformance. The shares were up 8% on the week. Earlier in the week, we heard from Amazon, better than expected earnings. The company saw an AI boost, reported AWS sales that were up 17% annually. The shares closed up for the week, around 3% higher. But there were some losers, of course, and Starbucks was arguably one of the biggest. It reported its first sales decline since late 2020. Comps were also on the decline, coming in at 4% lower globally. Shares closed it down more than 17% on the week. Let's talk about what's coming next. For data, wholesale inventories on Wednesday. Fed balance sheet might be interesting, but consumer sentiment and the WASDE report for commodity traders will be interesting. We do have some earnings too. We've got Palantir, we've got Disney, we've got Wynn Resorts, Uber, Airbnb, which has a high bar after what we saw from Booking, but maybe a low bar relative to Expedia. I'm looking forward to that one. A lot of good names. I will see you then for them. That's it for The Wrap. I'm Oliver Rennick. Remember to tune in 24/7 to schwabnetwork.com.